high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. MediShare has a 98% customer satisfaction rating, and you are invited to be part of it. Call now. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News, on the Southeast Ag Net, well, gas and biofuel prices will go even higher amid conflict between Russia and Ukraine. But biofuel leaders argue that corn ethanol will still be cheaper than gasoline and able to meet demand. And there's no arguing that fuel prices go up during war.
If oil stocks and gasoline stocks tighten as a result of a conflict, yeah, that's going to pull prices for all energy commodities higher. It's going to pull prices for things that can substitute for gasoline higher, and that includes ethanol.
But Renewable Fuels Association Chief Jeff Cooper argues the flip side of that coin.
But we fully expect that ethanol is going to remain at a discount to gasoline. Like I said, we're 50 or 60 cents cheaper today. We expect that to continue because the primary driver of ethanol prices is, believe it or not, it's not oil prices, it's corn prices. It's what is our feedstock costing.
So if oil hits $100 a barrel?
If you have $100 barrel oil, ethanol producers can afford to pay more for corn and still make a margin and still deliver a product to the marketplace that is lower cost than gasoline.
Which the biofuels industry argues is the key reason to boost the use of ethanol, including with higher blends, to expand the nation's fuel supply and reduce price shocks from global events like war.
I'm Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried. Everyone knows Florida grows the world's best produce. From citrus to strawberries, watermelon to blueberries, our produce growers feed our families and the world. With over $125 million in annual revenue for growers, the Fresh from Florida program helps Florida farmers stay competitive in a tough marketplace. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Southeast AgNet is social. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, where you can be sure to find all of the agriculture news for the Southeast.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be mostly sunny with a high of 82 to 85, then clear skies tonight, low 64 to 68. Wednesday will be partly sunny and very warm, high tomorrow 83 to 87. Then Thursday will be mostly sunny with a high of 85 to 89. Partly sunny Friday, high on Friday 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Tuesday. That's right, it's 2-2-2 Tuesday. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you live on Ocala Talks from the WOCA studios just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. Galen Unal joins me as he does every morning. Galen, the rest of the month is a palindrome.
Yeah, well, that's exciting.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't happen but once every 1,000 years. You know, no, so even more than that.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
Oh, maybe this whole Ukraine thing is the omen, and it's all going to be over soon. And we'll start getting the horses from the sky. But,
the
I can tell
Ukraine.
you that
There's something going on in the Ukraine?
Yeah, by 10 o'clock, I'm going to be sick of the 222. I can tell you that right now.
Okay.
I'm sick of it already.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't need another 11-year-old coming up and saying, you know what Tuesday is? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
By the way, no more mention of it on this show.
Thank you.
The only thing that is good for today is it's Taco Tuesday. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that any day.
Anybody who's against Taco Tuesday?
It should go to the Ukraine.
Well, that's right. You shouldn't be their friend. Right?
No.
That's instant. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
There are certain things, like if somebody's like against something, like if you're a Yankees fan,
Gone.
I don't trust you. I can't be your friend. And if you're anti-Taco Tuesday, that automatically means you're not a good person. Even if you don't like tacos, what can you possibly have against Taco Tuesday?
If you don't like Taco Tuesday, a giggling baby makes you angry. So I don't need you around me. That's
right.
I don't need you around me.
Wednesdays are good too.
Oh.
Any food day, I'm for.
And I'm almost wanting to change one of the days to a P, just so we can have pizza and pasta, whatever day it is.
Yeah, it's not the it's not the rhythm, the alliteration that you get on Taco Tuesday.
Oh, it's perfect.
I mean, it's the only thing you care about today.
Oh.
Right? In the back of your mind, all hell can be breaking loose. In the back of your mind, you're going, you know what? It's gonna be all right.
There are people that plan their weeks around their lunch today.
Sure, and I don't even care if they're not getting a taco. Just knowing that there's a Taco Tuesday out there gives you hope.
Yeah, so that's what today is. Taco Tuesday. That's what today is. Let's talk for a minute about a kid. He named All-County Player of the Year, overall Player of the Year, and he's Vanguard's Fred Gaskins III. I don't know who else they could have gave this trophy to.
Well, he did everything. I was curious if they were going to give it to Trent Townsend. Trent didn't have a great year.
And he's a sophomore, by the way.
Didn't have a great year.
Sophomore, by the way.
Yeah, and hey, you got that one right. He's just one of these kids who's incredibly talented, works really hard. He's a 4-star in recruiting, if that means anything to you. I met his father at the Kingdom of the Sun, got to talk to him a little bit, and the kid has an opportunity to be really, really special. And I'm excited to see what he can do.
Well, let me give you these gaudy stats, and this is not a compiler. This is one season. He played on 70% of the snaps on offense. He completed 66 of 103 passes for 1,037 yards with 14 touchdowns against 5 interceptions. He also carried the ball 32 times for 94 yards and a touchdown. And from his safety position, all he did was record 24 tackles, 2 pass breakups, and a fumble recovery.
Yeah, the kid is special. And again, he comes from a long line of Vanguard sophomores who have just had monster seasons. You want to look at some monster seasons, go look at Momo's sophomore season. And it's just like, oh my gosh, no wonder this guy.
And here's the crazy thing.
Everything. And
3 points.
Same thing. Dante had a monster sophomore season.
He's a 3.62 grade point average guy.
Sure is. And his father and I talked about that the most. I said, the only thing that's going to keep him back is the classroom. And he looked dead at me. He goes, I got that. And that's the answer. That's the answer you want. You and again, you have to have, that person behind you that's grounding you and making you realize, look, there's more out there than just football. And it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to talk to him. And I've met the kid once, and very, very humble. Looked me straight in the eye, shook my hand. That's something I always look for. And I think he's going to be really, really good for a long time, obviously.
Well, I got to see him play 2 games this year. And what I liked, when I saw him on defense, and that's, I pay particular attention to the defense because that's what I know the best. And the way he would go up and he would pull people by their belts and say, no, 2 steps to the right. No, 4 steps back and off to the left. He got people lined up correctly. He did all that on defense. It was like he was the coach out there, of a team where he's getting kids lined up and everything. It's almost like he's an on-the-field coach on defense, and he's the quarterback on offense, so that's what he's doing on offense. This is a kid that's a 10th grader with that much poise and that much, just understanding in the game of football. That's not something you teach.
Well, it's something that he did at MCYFL. Steve Brim, he played for the Wolfpack, the championship for the Wolfpack his 8th grade year. And Steve Brim, every time I would talk to him, he would just want to talk about this kid for 10 or 15 minutes. And, it's pretty remarkable how smart that kid is. And some kids just get football. You know that. Some people it just makes sense to them. And he's one of those guys.
And from everything I've heard talking to other coaches and stuff, a good guy too. Not one that you're gonna have to worry about causing trouble. There's been some good Vanguard football players, but you always wondered, are they gonna make? Are they gonna get into an argument over with a teacher over a cell phone? Are they going to, cuss a teacher out over a cell phone? Are they going to, have allegations that as a senior, that they smacked their girlfriend around some? You've heard some things about, there was one guy that he couldn't stay on a football team. He played at Vanguard, Trinity. He played at North Marion. Then he went to the University of Florida on a scholarship, got thrown off that team before he ever played a down. One of the most talented kids I've ever seen in my life. But his off-the-field antics were too much. That's not something Mr. Gaskin suffers from. He's a good guy on the field and off the field.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. Future is bright for him. Let's see what he can do.
10th grader, what are you going to do for your follow-up 11th and 12th grade years?
I talked to Farmer about that. He goes, "Don't worry, Galen. Don't worry." Yeah. So.
Well, we'll see. We will see, but Mr. Gaskin's named overall player of the year by the Ocala Star-Banner. We're going to take a break. We'll come back more with Galen after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. Got Galen Unal to the bottom of the hour, 8:30. Galen, I got to talk about something that I know you don't want to talk about. I know that there's been talk that we should never bring this name up again, but he's got a few months left in office, and he's done something completely idiotic again, which doesn't surprise me, given who he is. But the FHSAA's Football Advisory Committee unanimously approved the Metro and Suburban class split for the second year in a row. The FHSAA's Athletic Director Advisory Committee endorsed the proposal in January. Football guys see it as a massive problem. They've offered a solution. The athletic directors see the problem, maybe not as clear as the advisory board, but they say at least there's a solution. But George Tomlin doesn't agree, so he's decided that he's going to put the kibosh on it right before he leaves office. But that doesn't give any solutions to how to handle the issue right now of competition. And this guy doesn't seem to care. He's like, not on my watch. Not going to do it. Not going to come up with a solution. Yeah, if he doesn't like this solution, offer a damn solution.
Well, and I want to be very clear of my just absolutely despisement of George Tomlin.
No, I absolutely despise George Tomlin. You can't.
He was a terrible principal.
He was a terrible superintendent.
And I mean, we've had some bad ones, which is why I'm glad that the voters just took it out of their hands, so that vote can't be blocked anymore. Terrible superintendent.
And a terrible executive director of the Florida High School Athletic Association.
But what he's done at FHSAA far surpasses.
It's almost criminal. It's almost criminal.
Horrible things he's done. And I read this. It came over, and I'm like, well, I thought this was a done deal.
It was a done deal 2 years ago, and he kiboshed it.
Yeah, and I don't. And by the way, he's never really commented as to why he's kiboshing it.
Moron. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Maybe that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, to understand the politics of sports down in that part of the world, which I'm expecting George to do, I don't know. But nobody is shocked by this. I'm
No, it's not shocking. It's aggravating. It's angering. It's how the hell does this guy still have a job? Wonderment.
I wonder if the guy coming in next, what he does, what he can possibly do to fix it. I guarantee you he won't be from Ocala, because they hired if they would have put Craig Damian in there, FHSAA would have been run better because he's a better dude and a better guy. But they'll probably, if I'm the FHSAA, I put in the notes, in the founding charter, never hire somebody from Ocala again. That's how bad he is.
And explain to listeners that may not know what the Metro Suburban class split is. It makes perfect sense to me in a competition standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, the way it works is you've got this city, and they don't want to necessarily compete against each other for the state title, because of the sheer politics of it down there.
Right. And we're talking about Miami. We're talking about it includes 8 metro areas: Miami-Dade, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville. But it really was done because of the competition and how it breaks down in South Florida.
That's correct. It's really a South Florida thing. It'll impact the parts of Tampa, parts of Orlando. St. Thomas Aquinas will be the one that probably has the biggest impact. And they're a private school and they recruit. And it just makes it really, really difficult for some of those other schools that are incredibly talented to compete with. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. When you talk to coaches and administrators from South Florida, they're passionate about it.
Yes.
I don't fully understand the problem, but everybody down there agrees it needs to split.
Well, I've been explained to it, it's the SEC mentality. And I go, what do you mean? They go, we beat up on each other so much that it's hard to compete with the rest of the state. Is how it was described to me. That they beat up on each other so much that it's hard to compete and when you come playoff time, just from attrition standpoint.
And I know it's got a lot to do with the private schools and how the private schools have just absolutely
Decimated,
dominated.
yes. Because they've decimated rosters of public schools.
Correct. Whether it's Jacksonville, Trinity Christian is a big one, Cardinal Gibbon.
Bowles was always a big one for a very long time.
Yeah, Thomas Aquinas. Yeah, and I'll give you a perfect example. Look at Trinity. Trinity has the ability to go out and actively recruit any player in the county that they want. And therefore it's an unfair advantage for that class 2A.
Right, because they can recruit all of Duval County. The entire, and by the way, I know 3 kids that should be playing. 1 kid that should be playing in Fernandina. 1 kid that should be playing in 2 kids should be playing in West Nassau, which is in Nassau County, just north of Jacksonville. They go to UT, to Trinity Christian.
Sure.
I'm at TC. And here's the thing with Trinity Christian. Do you know Trinity Christian started their program in 1981? Okay, that's when they started their program. We had them as the second game of the season. And our varsity coach at the time, Barry, what was Barry? Anyway, doesn't matter what his last name was. He was only there 1 year. Barry Gardner. He would not play Trinity Christian with us. He made our JV go play their varsity squad because he didn't want to embarrass them so bad because it was their first year. Our JV beat them 63-0 at Trinity Christian. That was their second game of their career ever, but now look at them. They're multi-time state champions because you go to that campus and you go to that school. It's a top-notch Christian school. It's a top-notch educational school, and they have the ability to give away scholarships because people want to win there. You can't, when you have good education, good moral standard, and you let kids go for free from areas that the schools they would have to go to don't have good moral standards, there is a chance you could get stabbed or shot standing on a corner on the way to that school. And you as a parent are offered the ability for your kid to go for free to a safe environment where it will also lead to college education possibilities most of the time. Well, who the hell's not taking advantage of that?
And it's not just that, Tom. You know this. It's coaching.
Yes.
They pay their coaches more. They get better coaches. Their facilities are top notch. You know, they actually have a training staff. They have, coaches that help you work out. And they're just the overall facilities are better. And you cannot compete with a public school. And I don't understand why George would not. By the way, what they're calling the metros and the private schools, they don't mind this at all. They're like,
no,
okay, fine.
Whatever.
We could still play you in the regular season. We're just gonna have a different playoff bracket.
That's all it is.
It's a different playoff bracket. And I don't fully understand all the problems they have in South Florida. Again, I know on the basketball level, they just can't even compete. And that's a lot less kids. And so I respect it. I don't understand it at all. But George Tomlin, maybe he'll just retire in Gainesville so we don't have to deal with it.
A man. This is a man clearly.
And by the way,
clearly, we should have saw this. It's a man that can't tell the difference between audio and video. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of issues I've had with him personally, from a broadcasting standpoint, for sure. I'm not a fan at all when you have a meeting with one of the administrators and says, "Look, this is pretty stupid." You know why he hates us is because we publicly ridiculed him, and he's soft and fragile. And by the way, when I have an issue with the FHSAA, I'll be very clear about it. To me, this isn't an FHSAA issue. This is the George Tomlin issue. That's it. The George Tomlin issue. The FHSAA was trying to do the right thing.
By a unanimous vote, by the way, by this advisory committee. Why have the advisory committee if you're not 2 years in a row? You think your advisory committee, it's, by the way, voted unanimously 2 years in a row. If you didn't like the first vote, get a new advisory committee. The advisory committee came back with the same thing. Maybe they're not the morons here.
Well, as long as he's getting his check from the massive donor resources that he's getting from these so-called mandatory uses, where you have to use certain vendors, and the kickback that I know he's receiving, that maybe the FHSA and George will continue to be happy.
Well, he's out at the end of the year. He's retired.
I really didn't want to talk about that.
Well, I had to. I had to.
And again, John Ivory calls it the best thing. It's the slushy hot tub gang.
Yeah.
And they get these kickbacks. They get these huge junkets that aren't on the books, but everybody talks about how they get to go to these things. It's a sad state of affairs. And again, I hope the next person who gets that job just cleans house and gets rid of all mention of George.
But you're right. It's probably going to be written in the bylaws. It's probably going to be written in the bylaws. No one from Marion County ever allowed to hold the job again. It's probably going to be written in the bylaws.
Yeah.
This guy. But you were right. This was a guy who, because Donna Green and Wally Wagner ran against him, he demoted them when he won the superintendent job here in Marion County.
Correct.
Wally Wagner, Wally, who'd ran the bus depot as good as it could ever be run. The buses have not ran on time since then. That you'll see a bus out at 5:30 in the afternoon now for some reason. And Donna Green, he demoted her to principal of Pheasant Elementary. And all she is wait for it, the superintendent of Duval County Schools, the largest school system in the state of Florida. That's all she is now.
He's a petty guy. My mom worked for him for a very brief time out at Bellevue, and my mom loves everybody.
Not him.
Two people she doesn't speak well of, and I'll just leave it at that. Two of them have been superintendents.
Hey,
and one of them's name is not Yancey. I can tell you that.
Galen, tell us where the Bloodmobile is today.
Hey, today we're out in the Villages. We're kind of excited. We got a new donor center coming into the Villages here in the next few months. We just closed on it, so we're renovating it now. We'll be having a much bigger presence in the Villages. But we're also right here at the Walmart out on 200, so come see us there. And as always on the Boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Give the gift of life, donate blood.
Galen, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
We'll
be right back after this timeout.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Now that Russia has sent troops